Okay, you presented the platform to give the opportunity for the young professionals to get in touch with the employees. The question is, do you know same kind of platforms and programs in Russia or not?
Um, I don't. Is it working? Yes. I don't know the same platforms in Russia. Uh, I know just professional forums with quite the same content, but the problem of forums is that they give different advices sometimes on one topic, and these advices are not based on any research. They are unsystemated, so difficult to be used, in my opinion.
Nevertheless, there are in Russia some kind of, well, not maybe the same, but I suppose likewise platforms already, and they are numbered, to tell the truth. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe some more questions? No, okay. Thank you very much for these presentations. One question I had directly to Nihal. Microfinance obviously lives very much from understanding the risk profile of the people you're financing. And I mean, you mentioned a lot of that your project will be only sustainable if you generate a lot of profits. Have you given any thought about what kind of risk profile you're targeting? How big the failure rates are? I mean, the non-performing loans. How large this will be in your portfolio, and how you're going to deal with it? Because that will be extremely determinant for the profitability of your microfinance scheme.
Okay, so what we're going to do with that is once one of the startups gets graduated from the incubation center, there will be a time period of 6 months. So in those 6 months, they will definitely make some profit, and if not, we're going to extend their operational duration in which they have to return the loan. And my research has told me that it gets profitable to a certain extent, and if you talk about the risk profile, I think that will be kept as minimum, because people who are very talented, they have some kind of a skill. We're going to use their skill to the best, and that's how they're going to make money out of it. So it could be any kind of skill. It could be like people who have vocational trainings and skills. So we're going to make sure that their business gets successful.
Sorry to be provocative, but that sounds more like hope than actually concrete numbers. I mean, I wanted to actually have a number to say, okay, well, we have a failure rate of 10%, and that will lead us to so much in terms of our reduction of our profitability. Because if you don't know, I mean, you can extend the loan as much as you want. At some point, certain loans will not be paid back, and that will have an impact on the profitability of your scheme.
So I think if that risk comes, so we'll have to prepare ourselves once we kick off the business. That's when we're going to talk to mentors, because we'll have a panel of mentors who are going to tell us how to deal with the risk and how to reduce it actually.
Yeah, I had another question to Dushko. I mean, I like the spirit of your project in the sense that you want to take on the big players in the market like LinkedIn. My question to you is, do you have any idea how big LinkedIn actually currently is in Macedonia, and how much of a market share you would actually grab from LinkedIn?
Does it work? Okay. So LinkedIn is quite popular all over the world in global terms. However, in Macedonia, the possibilities that LinkedIn offers are not very well tackled by the young professionals. They're not using them to their full potential. However, this is one part of the problem. The second part of the problem is that the companies themselves who are operating in Macedonia, including the foreign direct investment companies, are not doing this. They're just not using LinkedIn as a platform where they will look for people, see their skills, see the gap where these skills should be, let me say, added upon. and then contact this person, which is quite usual in the investor in Europe, or also it is quite usual in the UAE market and Saudi Arabia market, where I have my biggest clients at the moment for my work.
Do you know why they're not using LinkedIn?
The first problem is the fact that people want to. First of all, there are not many job positions. In my opinion, why they're not using it is just because they're first not up to date with the technology itself. Then it's an English platform, and then in my opinion, this is my opinion, that's why I said this will be more local or regional platform, however more developed. It doesn't offer only, let me say, potential for lookup and matchmaking, but it's more for a perusal of the companies themselves. Which, in my opinion, it's not really what I am trying to do with this platform. This platform will offer few columns, few different portfolios where people will say what they have, what they need, what they want to strive for, and then the companies would try to contact them and offer them and bet on their potential in order to develop this into skills.
Maybe I omitted this, but can you give more or less adequate estimation of the necessary budget to create the project?
Yes, I have included some numbers, not the first slide, but the second slide. They're very basic. So 18,000 euros would be the minimum budget in order to obtain this, with hope that the corporate professionals and people in the academics, which also have a connection with the corporate world, would, as I said, dedicate a couple of hours per week or per month to deliver on-site
Okay,
trainings for the...
Then, can you name some of the possible customers of this program or this project?
Of course, I have already contacted a big number of customers. There will be the foreign direct investments, for example, Krombert and Schubert, Johnson Controls, Johnson Matthey, Marquardt. These are some of the foreign direct investment companies. Then big companies in Macedonia like the brewery, Alkaloid, which is the biggest chemical producer and drug producer in Macedonia. Public organizations as well, because the public administration in Macedonia is in big problems when it comes to skilled workforce. So this will also help the company going forward. You're very welcome.
One question I had to Nadezhda. I mean, I like very much the last point you mentioned on your presentation in terms of making use of this data that you're generating for research purposes. I mean, obviously from the organization I come from, that would be extremely valuable. Two questions. A, what is like the market share you target? What do you have any idea how big the potential user base will be? I mean, what's your projection for that? And second, how do you ensure IT security? I think now this is actually a huge issue in many companies, and especially these web-based tools. You need to make sure that you cannot be hacked into your platform. That because especially when it comes down to job searching and really detailed biographical information, people do not necessarily want to have this information spread out all over the world because somebody hacked into your system.
We have a huge background of sociological researches, so we know a lot about it, and all the data will be just presented as common advices without any names, without any reference to a person from whom this information was gathered.
The question was, how big is the market for which this project should be implemented?
if we consider the whole market of youth who is unemployed in Russia, um, they are, it is quite huge. We have showed some figures in our presentation, but we would like to start from choosing 5 professional spheres. We will decide it as the spheres with the highest level of competencies in it. For example, the large source for job seeking in Russia is Headhunter.ru, and this company conducted researches and formed a ranking of professional fields with highest level of competencies, competition.
Do you have practical contacts already to whom you discussed, with whom you discussed this project, who got interested in this project in terms of business representatives?
We have only contacts with institutions that will help us to get information. It is University High School of Economics and the Center of Youth Studies, who will already conducted projects in this sphere, in sphere of unemployment, and who will help us to gather the necessary amount of information.
Hello once again. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentations. I know that's so stressful to speak public when so many eyes look at you, but you know that was your choice, and you will prepare for this. My question is going to be very simple but very important for each of you. What is the positive impact in the youth society can bring your projects?
Maybe we start with Ashita, if it's possible. So, the microphone.
What is the positive impact in the society can bring your project in the youth society?
Like I said, I am from a handicraft background, and I really want handicraft not just to be a part of the vacation thing and not just be a part of hobby thing. I want it what it was. It was an important part of the livelihood for many people, and I want it to be acknowledged by the rural people as well as the urban people. And because I've been working with artisans closely enough to understand their weaknesses, their challenges, I want to do something for them. So I think working on this project, I think we both, I mean the artisans and me, can both change their lives in some or the other way. Thank you.
I want people to make full use of their resources, because all the resources we need to succeed are in the mind. So no two people will definitely have the same level of education. So, but everyone has some kind of talent or some kind of innate ability to do something. So I want to make use of those inner resources people have and help them, because all they need is guidance. Everyone is everyone has an ability to change themselves and change the world, but all they need is a little guidance. And I think that's what youth mainly lacks guidance. And sometimes some leaders come forward and they're like they help youth take themselves forward by guiding them in the right direction, by equipping them with the external resources that they need. Because sometimes people feel as if they're not having clear goals, and some people have been moving in different directions. People want to do a lot, but they don't know how to go about their goals. So that's why they need some kind of assurance and training, a hands-on training on how to align their goals and how to move towards making them successful.
Thank you for the question. I'm very happy that you asked. I can go on, right? There are a few things that will directly get better, and few things which will be caused by an indirect point of view. So first of all, the unemployment rate will decrease, because the majority of unemployed people in Macedonia is basically the youth. So we are well, the main focus group is the students that already graduated or students that have graduated in the past couple of years. This is one. The second one is the quality of life of these people, because their income will increase. And economists in this room know that also indirectly the GDP of the country will increase. The companies will make more profits because they will employ people who actually know what to do, have skills what to do, and can replicate all their products and services on a worldwide level. And the fourth one is, hopefully, this is my biggest wish, is to decrease the Gini coefficient in Macedonia, which is very alarming. It's starting to look like the GDP in the US, the Gini coefficient in the US. So there are more people that are gathering, buckling up, and just piling up some wealth, and the other people are on the other part of the let me say picture, and they are actually stagnating with their income. However, the expenses are increasing, of course, steadily, as we know in the economy.
The main impact of our project is to provide opportunities for young people to find themselves in professional sphere they would like to be, to fill the gaps in education, and to find where to study necessary skills.
Ashita, the question to you. Now that you are much more calm, I suppose you can answer. Firstly, you came from traditional society. Why do you think the potters will follow you? This is first question. Second question, whom you are going to attract to support this idea financially?
The first question is why will the potters be attracted to me would be because I've been working with them, and I've sort of made a group of potters who've been wanting to market their products in such a way that they get the price worth of what they're doing. I've been talking to them, and because I've been talking to them, I've got this idea that I should really and actually do something for them. These are the ideas which have come from the potters itself. They have been asking me to give them. I'm a marketing expert, so they've been asking me to give them marketing advices, to make an online platform for them, to promote them globally, promote them nationally, and everything. So I think the ideas are coming from them. I am just collaborating those ideas and doing. I will be collaborating those ideas and doing something for them. The second question was financially. I think there are sort of forms of capital which I'm looking forward to. Not just financially, but also, like Prakhar said, there are lot of forms of capitals, financially, documentary, and then probably people helping me with online platform, people helping me with training and everything. So financials are just a part of it. I am also talking to people, like I said, the artists and the organizations who are ready to help me with the training and the workshops. I am talking to people who are marketing experts who are ready, initially who are ready to give me that support, and then probably the selling of the products, the reaching out to customers, the socialites and everything. I think I'll be getting what I want to.
Do you have some more questions for the moment from the experts? So if the experts have no questions, we open the floor to the audience. Ashita has still some time left to present some more projects. Nihal as well, Dushko and Nadezhda are already close to the limit, so maybe first questions to Ashita and Nihal. Anyone? Yes, please. Wait.
Hi, I'm Anupa and I'm also from India. Ashita, okay, the clay life. I personally liked your project a lot, and we are from the same city. So I wanted to ask you two things. Firstly, which area are you going to focus on? And secondly, you're looking at the supply side, but what about the demand side? what will be your target audience? Whom will you focus on? Because let's be a bit frank, all handicrafts and decorative pottery, not everyone is going to buy them. You know, if someone is from a higher class, maybe they will buy it for decorative purposes, but someone who's from the lower class, why will they buy it? They would instead, spend it on something else. So how do you intend to attract the right clientele and the right audience?
The first question, I've been working in Gujarat, the state of India, as a handicraft person, and I know a lot of potters I've been in touch with. The pottery is been the important part of the handicrafts in Gujarat. So I think I'm going to start from Gujarat, the Kutch region, definitely. The second question is, who would be the target audience in terms of buying it? I think, the two important factors which I'm looking at is the pricing and the eco-friendliness of the products. So the pricing has to be such that it is good for everybody. It is not going to be too high and not going to be too less. I mean, it is going to be in proportion to the needs of the buyers and needs of the seller. So I think pricing would be the important factor which will attract people to buy it. Because I live in Delhi and I've been to Delhi Hart, which is a handicraft handicraft shop kind of a thing. There are a lot of products which are priced high end, and there are a lot of products which are priced okay, I mean, what I can buy. So I think pricing is an important factor. Second is because of lot of artificial products coming to the picture, lot of artificial product in terms of those are handicraft products, but they are not made with hands. They are coming, artificially. So if we replace that by doing the same amount of work and taking the artisans, see that, visualize that and do something more. So I think we have buyers for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have another question.
Okay, I also have a question. I think I would wish to move in front so that I can be seen by everybody. So my question goes to Anita? Nihar from Pakistan. So I understand that generally in Kenya or even in Pakistan, we have these male-dominated societies where men are too conservative. Say that women don't have to take the initiative or they don't take their own decisions to take loans from financial institutions. So what are you going to address this challenge for the women? Because like we understand rural development or the whole issue of microfinance is all geared toward women because they are people who take up the risks. That the people have been able to develop the whole issue of microfinance from 50 years ago up to today. So how are you going to address the challenge of conservative societies within the project?
So this is a base problem which we have to take into account while doing any kind of business or starting any kind of change-making process. So my approach would be to identify change agents within the society we're going to target. So for example, if we have to take people who are going to take loans from us, we will identify change makers from that society, women who want to come forward and women who want to empower others. So that kind of process will be done in parts. Some men would also be identified, and because the best approach to change them is to identify people from within that community that is going to be empowered. So for example, if a woman knows how to sew or how to do embroidery, we can make a club of people who are going to speak to them and convince, because it's all about how you get people know what you're going to do. And I have done some kind of volunteer work in those communities where women face problems to come forward. Even men who have some kind of skill, they are forced to abandon it because they need stability, they need stable jobs. So the concept of using your own skills and putting them to use to make money is kind of difficult for them because everyone wants stability. So, but if you empower yourself, and if those people succeed in making full use of their skills, that's when they can they can success in the longer run. Because other than that, if someone gets a job, if someone gets job based on their education, then that's different from how you make money out of your talent. So the change making process has to come from inside, and if we can get people from within that community, there has been some examples where those women have been identified as leaders. And for example, I was talking about this microfinance institution in Pakistan known as Bakhsh Foundation. It's a community of different villages where women are, one woman is called the Light Lady. In Urdu we call them the Roshna Bibi. What she does is she gives training to other women in her village, and they use solar energy, because in that village there is no electricity. So through those solar bulbs they charge their cell phones, and they use that solar energy to do their daily operations. So it's one woman in one village, and that's how it's operating, and I really like that model. Other than that, there's a global company called Popin J, which originates from Lahore in Pakistan. What they use is they make women do work. They make women do embroidery, and they do it on daily wages. So after they do it, those embroidery, they make purses, bags, handbags out of it, and accessories out of it, and it gets exported to different countries around the globe. So that's another example of a successful process in which people are empowered from within the community.
Thank you very much. One last question to any one of the speakers. I guess somebody has already the microphone.
My question is to Nihal. I think your project is very much influenced by the Grameen model of Bangladesh, initiated by Professor Muhammad Yunus. So since I'm also working in the same field, I would like to know more about what will be the collateral used for your project. Like if you plan to attract young people for your venture, then will you be using any such thing like collateral for them? Or even who will be your local stakeholders? So these are two questions.
Okay, so
Short answer, please. Just a short answer.
Okay. I've talked to some people in my country. There are some non-profit organizations which are focused on getting people take all the resources in their hands and putting them to use to create a stable job environment. So I'm in talks with 1 or 3 more organizations as well. So I discussed my idea with them, and they were, because it's a microfinance institution come incubation center. We have had microfinance institutes, but incubation centers are operated separately. They're working separately. So we're going to have both of them aligned together, and they're going to collaborate with us, and obviously they will have their part in it, and some of them will have some of them are easy, and they're saying that they can get us some mentors and industrialists for the entrepreneurial training section. So they were really open towards our idea.
Thank you very much for this question and answer session. I would now like to come back to our experts and ask Vladimira Kuhn and Eckhard Ernst to give their feedback to the single projects. Maybe we start from that side with Nadezhda. So please give us your feedback on the
Maybe I
project.
start with general observation, which was reflected in some of my questions. Dear participants, thank you for your work. Thank you for presentation of the project. But to compare the projects with the previous projects, previous sessions, what I see, I'm not saying your project are better or worse than the previous, but I should admit that the previous projects, they were more practically oriented and with more precisely calculated, well, if not the business plan, but at least, you know, they had clear ideas of what amount of the money, where to obtain those money, what they need to bridge the gap. For example, we have something, but we need something in addition to finalize. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know if you support me or not, but listen, in your presentation, that is some kind of abstract attitude. We need something, but I did not feel that you know where the money is coming from. This is one general observation. Everything else is perfect, good, you are good leaders, you have the communication skills, etc. You know, as I mentioned, well, coming from the right to the left, as I mentioned, you know, the idea to create the platform to link the employers and prospective employees is not that unique either in the world, either in Russia. This is first, and I suppose that you can promote your project if you dig into the work of other people with the same or like same ideas to promote this. Same to you, actually, but of course I liked that you more deeply considered the possible customers, if I may say customers, because you know that is not adequate term. Okay, users, better to say, of the proposed project.
Beneficiaries.
Yeah, beneficiaries, users, okay. So I like that, and of course our young ladies, they were more practical. But as far as the question of micro credits are concerned, a well-known Nobel laureate, Janos, who suggested these micro credits, unfortunately finished not very goodly, if you know what I talk about. So that is very complex structuring project, and it is difficult to say for me whether it could be successful or it will demand much more skills, experience, knowledge, and support of a proper financial partners, you know, to achieve this target. As far as the last but not the least project, I cannot say that I do know nowadays that goodly the situation in India, but I suppose everything which is directed to support the traditional skills in the country, which is divided, you know, very seriously if we are talking about the capitals or capital and likewise cities and the rural areas. Of course, that kind of project, they will attract the attention of many foundations who are directing their help exactly to support the, you know, to bridge the people in the poor areas of India and more wealthy circles there. So I suppose that is what I'm going to say. And once again, thank you, all of you, for your presentations, for the level of and abilities to introduce the project and to defend this project, because I know through my own experience, possibly that is the most difficult part of the job. Not to create the idea, even not, you know, to calculate everything, but to present the idea and to gain support on the part of those whom you are presenting it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also from my side, I mean, I fully second what Vladimir was just saying. I mean, first of all, congratulations to all of you for all the hard work that you have put in. I mean, we definitely evaluate as experts. You always have to make some choices at some point. So I think that it's not disregarding the validity of some of the projects, but just to see that relatively to each other, certain projects might be more sustainable. I would also say that as much as Vladimir, I'm concerned by the sustainability of all the projects. I think that despite the great initiatives, the great ideas you all have, I don't think that there was enough thinking about going into the sustainability of the issue, and especially not in terms of how much of your own funds will be kind of invested into that into these projects. Actually, with Thomas, when we started evaluating this, your written input, we had for all of these projects actually an issue of how much you put into your own stakes. We have looked at your bios, we have looked at your previous experiences, but still it was not fully clear. So I would say that yes, there are some really interesting ideas. I think I particularly have to say I like the idea that Nadezhda put forward, simply because you really want to make sure that that you not only gather information of who is looking for what, but you really want to also introduce a training component. And you are clear in terms of how many people you can potentially sustain, at least at the initial phase. I think that if you really manage to put that forward, you certainly will have potentially or a potential to increase the share of your project relatively quickly, provided you secure sufficient funds to support these activities. So I think that is very laudable, and especially from a perspective of somebody who's looking from an analytical purpose. I know that these type of questions that you raise are extremely important to make sure that that the labor market functions properly. Duško, I actually have a question to you. I mean, to a certain extent you answered that, but not fully. I mean, when I asked you about why is LinkedIn not used more, you said, well, there is no labor demand. But then my question to you is, well, do you think that by creating a different platform, you will actually create more labor demand? I mean, I'm not sure about that. So I think that for this point of view, I think you need to think about the sustainability issues. And especially one other aspect, and that I came through that question also through the IT question to Nadezhda, was, suppose you attract a lot of attention. Have you given thought about the bandwidth for your platform? Do you know that you have enough bandwidth? Because it makes a huge difference. Also for your costing structure, whether you attract 20, 200 or 2,000 people on your platform. And I think this is an important question that you need to spell out properly in this proposal. And I think that will help not only us, but any other potential sponsor of your initiative to better evaluate the sustainability of the project. Then I would say the other two, there's very interesting aspects to both of your projects. I think that what you mentioned, Niha, the lack of funding for entrepreneurs in Spain or anywhere. I think in Europe we have that problem, absolutely. I don't think that we can attack this by using microfinance logic. These are banking logics or startup financing logics. They need a completely different types of skill sets. You need to bring in not only an abstract but concrete people who have experience in the market in this area. You might not find them in Europe, that's probably true. You might find them maybe in your home country, maybe in North America, but you need to have these experts. You can evaluate properly what are the sustainability of these projects that you're funding. That's my question. You need to be able to understand what is the risk project or the risk profile of these projects that you're financing, because otherwise you will run out of funds quite quickly, and 3,000 euros as a minimum capital is actually very limited. If you think about already setting up a company in certain Western European countries can be quite expensive. So I think that this is something that you need to really think about carefully. And then to the last project, I mean, I'm really admirative of the initiatives you're taking. I think that you need to better spell out what is the perspective for the young population in your country. Do you create a development perspective? I think that some of these projects are also meant to push us forward. We don't want to be stuck in, I mean, I don't mean in negative, but in traditional activities. We want to promote activities that bring young people forward. Does this help you? What you're supposing? Do you create maybe larger entities where young people can thrive and acquire skills that bring them forward, not only in their craft sector but also in other types of competencies? I think that is a kind of question that you need to address in your project to make them sustainable. Because otherwise you will just turn around the problem, moving people from an informal activity into a formal one, but without actually giving them some kind of developmental perspective perspective. Again, I think all 4 projects, I know how much hard work you have been put in, I really admire this, but at some point I think we need to make a choice, and I think that's my evaluation of these 4 projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you. Now maybe you would like to react shortly, and then a question also from the president of the Youth Time Movement, Julia Kinnash. So in 1 minute, you would like to reply to the expert in the sense of a dialogue of generations? Anyone? Okay, so Julia.
I would like to say thank you very much for all comments, and in my project I will try to work for it, and I would like to follow all her advices. Thank you.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity. It's my 3rd time being part of Youth Time events. It's always a different experience. However, what stays the same is the pleasure of meeting smart and prospective thinking people. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to meet you a few days a year and just see each other, exchange experiences and plan the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, and I understand that we need to work harder because we have to have a full understanding of the project we're going to do, and I'm definitely going to work more on that and do 100% from my side, and also some comparative analysis of already existing institutes would be helpful for me. So I'm going to, I have a lot of takeaway from here today. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for the comments. I think I'm going to work on the practicalities of this project even more rigorously, and also the development of the older traditions, connecting it with the latest technologies, or probably to connect it with the today's world thing. I think I need to work on that even more, and I have to look at the practicality. So I think thank you so much.